Hi everyone, welcome for day 2 at DSEI 2023 here in Tokyo. I'm very glad that I am joined today by Yoshihiro Inaba, our Japan-based correspondent. Konnichiwa, Yoshihiro.
お会いできて光栄です。よろしくお願いします。
Today we're focusing on weapon system for the Japan Self-Defense Forces.
本日は海上自衛隊向けの武器システムについて特集をしていきたいと思います。
行きましょう。So Yoshihiro-san, I notice this year there's a lot of weapon systems for Japan forces on display on the show floor.
Yes.
In your opinion, why?
Because of the last year, Japanese government had decided to increase very dynamic their defense budget. It's a double time compared with the previous years, and it is a very good opportunity for the export or import the weapon systems. Yes, it is a reason.
So we will start today with Kawasaki Heavy Industries. We're showcasing a new anti-ship missile. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's a long range and high survivability and low RCS. So and using a turbofan engine. We are developing under the JMD contract. So
With Atla?
yes, with Atla.
So it's subsonic?
Yeah, subsonic.
Land-based or ship-based or launched from the aircraft?
Basically, at first ground base, but future multi-launch system about ship and from aircraft. We start a new research and development program this year.
So I am now with Yoshihiro to discuss something that's thrilling to me here at DSEI Japan 2023. The fact that there are so many ongoing anti-ship missile programs in Japan. So Yoshihiro, why so many anti-ship missiles in Japan?
It's a good question because Japan has, the very near-peer adversary, and they have a lot of naval powers and a lot of aircraft carriers, destroyers, and cruisers. So Japan needs a lot of the anti-ship missiles, and also they each has a unique capability and capacity, including the what kind of seeker they use. It is the IL sensor or active radar homing or a combination of that, and so it makes very difficult against the enemy to intercept those missiles because there are different type of seeker, so it is make difficult to jamming or intercept the incoming missiles, and showcasing this has a very modular capability. So put the electronic jamming, ISL capability, or the explosive devices. So this may be useful for the Japanese defense in the HCAD.
And so also when you fire several types of anti-ship missile against the ship can be very difficult to counter the different types of missile. This one is specifically called island defense missile. So do you think it could be in the picture of A2AD anti-access aero denial in the southern islands of Japan, like the Sankaku Island and the first island chain?
Yes, I think so too. Exactly as you say, there are a lot of remote island Japan has, and each island has a very long range, approximately 1,000 kilometers or 2,000 kilometers. So Japan have to cover those remote islands with a long range missile like this or Type 12 SSM upgraded version. Absolutely.
Kongsberg of Norway is showcasing the Joint Strike missile. Japan, of course, was the first export customer of this missile. It is integrated on their F-35A. Production is still ongoing as well as deliveries to the Japanese customer. So this can strike land target as well as surface target. So it is based on the Naval Strike Missile. It comes with a similar IIR seeker. It has an onboard database of ship profiles, so it can precisely detect, recognize the ships and strike a specific spot on the ship. Contrary to the NSM, this missile is also fitted with an RF seeker, radio frequency. Pretty good anti-ship missile, very maneuverable, especially right before impact on the ship, so it can escape interception by the enemy ship. It flies very low before striking the ship. It has a range in excess of 275 kilometers. And so in addition to F-35As, Kongsberg is thinking about maybe integrated this missile on the F-35B of the JSDF. However, it would not fit inside the weapons bay. It would probably be carried externally. Maybe it could be fitted on the P-1 as well, the maritime patrol aircraft of the JMSDF, as a replacement for the Maverick missile. And the JSM could fit inside the weapons bay of the P-1. So 2 inside the weapons bay and 4 under the wings for a total of 6 missiles. So we are now on the General Atomics booth, who is showcasing the MQ-9B SeaGuardian. So the Japanese Coast Guard is now the customer of SeaGuardian for the maritime surveillance mission. Out of which airbase do they fly?
They fly from the Hachinohe Air Base, northern part of Japan. They have only one MPA, the SeaGuardian. Later year they have another MQ SeaGuardian.
Will they buy more?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think JMSDF is interested in SeaGuardian as well?
It's actually now JMSDF has a lot of interesting about the maritime patrol aircraft without manpower, and because of our, we have a lot of EZ, and also we have a lot of near-peer adversary, so they have to deal with such kind of multiple threats with the MPA.
So the model here is showcased with sonobuoys, but as some of you may have noticed, 2 weeks ago at an air show in Australia, General Atomics was showcasing a SeaGuardian fitted with 4 JSM Joint Strike missiles by Kongsberg. And of course, as we just mentioned, Japan, the Air Force is already a user of the JSM, so maybe it would make sense for Japan to combine SeaGuardian and JSM for anti-ship missiles mission. General Atomics is also showcasing the MQ-9B STOL wing kit. So we covered this before, but basically it's a kit that changes the wing of the SeaGuardian so that the UAV is able to take off from shorter airstrips or even an unimproved airstrip, as well as from landing ships. So potentially, again, SeaGuardian could be able to take off from Izumo class ships of the JMSDF. This would bring a great capability because then this would give a long-range strike capability to the JMSDF. Izumo and Kaga have been deploying more often to South China Sea. So would this bring new capabilities to JMSDF?
It actually does. As you know, recently the JMSDF conducting the operations inside the South China Sea, not only the Pacific or East China Sea. So they are expanding the area of conducting the actions. So maybe Izumo has such kind of the stable version of MQ-9. It brings more the surveillance capabilities, a very long-range surveillance capability, and an anti-submarine warfare capability, and also, as you say, the anti-surface warfare and anti-land target capabilities. Yes.
According to recent media reports, Japan is discussing with the United States and Raytheon the procurement of a number of Tomahawk cruise missile, long-range cruise missile. Raytheon cannot comment about it, but Yoshihiro, what can you share with us regarding this topic?
So the most latest news about Tomahawk. Last month, the Prime Minister Kishida said in the diet this JSDF will purchase the 400 Tomahawk cruise missile, and it's on board to the JMSDF Aegis destroyer, the EDGs.
Okay.
Yes.
So like Maya class, Congo class. Not for the submarines.
Yes, actually say that the particular which types of the Aegis destroyers will be fitted with Tomahawk is unknown, but according to the expert, the Japanese say that the Japanese government will not to on board the Tomahawk to the submarine. Yes.
Do we know which version of Tomahawk? Is it like the Block 5A or B with the capability to attack the ship?
The Prime Minister Kishida said it is the most latest version of the Tomahawk. Yes, and as according to the news report in Japan, said it's a Block 5.
Okay.
Yes.
We are now on the Raytheon booth to discuss SM-3. So I wanted to discuss with you a recent milestone involving SM-3 and JMSDF, recent test in November of last year, successful test. Can you please tell us more?
Yes, it was a fantastic event. And actually it was the first of its kind. It was the dual missile test of the SM-3 Block 2A, SM-3 Block 1B, and also SM-2. So this was a ship qualification test for the Aegis weapon system, but also the first SM-3 SM-3-2A ever shot by Japan. The SM-3 was originally designed to do an exo-atmospheric intercept of short, medium, intermediate range ballistic missiles. And as some may know, an SM-3 Block 2A successfully intercepted an intercontinental ballistic missile target in November of 2020. 2 years later, in 2022, the Japanese Navy followed up with the JS Maya, which is a brand new ship class and advanced Aegis weapon system that did their first SM-3-2A launch and intercepted a medium-range ballistic missile target. And then the JS Haguro also did a simultaneous IMD engagement with an SM-3 Block 1B and an SM-2. The intercept time was nearly simultaneous on the engagements for both the ballistic shot and the cruise missile engagement of a cruise missile drone.
Wow, so very
fantastic event.
Very challenging test. Indeed,
that was the first time that the Japanese have done such a complex test like that. So it was very, very significant accomplishment. The SM-3 was designed for exo-atmospheric intercept. So all of the intercepts that this missile engages is all done in outer space. And if you were to look at the SM-3 history, it has more exo-atmospheric intercepts than all of the missiles combined. This missile here was a collaboration, co-development, co-designed by the Japanese and U.S. Missile Defense Agency. So this is the booster here that separates the missile from the ship out of the Mark 41 launcher. We have the steering control section, which was made and designed by Japan. The second stage rocket motor was also designed by Japan for this, and the third stage rocket motor, which is all internal, again designed by Japan. The kinetic warhead is made by Raytheon and its partners, and the nose cone up here was also made by Japan. This is a clamshell nose cone which separates, and it worked flawlessly. So this is the most complex U.S.-Japan co-development ever attempted. And we're very proud of this, and Japan should be as well.
BAE Systems is showcasing also weapon systems. So this is the Bofors 40 MK4 40mm gun system. It is used by the Japanese Coast Guard on board their patrol vessels. These are hyper-velocity projectiles, so they come in different sizes, 5-inch, 155, and one for the railgun. There's a project in Japan for a railgun system, and Japan is apparently looking at long-range fires from 155mm as well as 5-inch gun, because if you follow me to Leonardo, The Italian company is also showcasing its Vulcano extended range precision and ammunition, both in 155 millimeter as well as 127 millimeter or 5-inch, so both compatible with naval gun systems. Japan, like many countries out there, is also working on laser weapon system developments against the UAV. So this is a demonstrator by MHI. They started working on it about 2 years ago. It is 10 kilowatt, and they successfully demonstrated the interception of UAVs at a distance of 1.2 kilometers. At such a distance as they show on the screen, the laser beam is very stable, so that the system is able to target very precise location on the UAV. For the future, so for now it's only fitted on an armored vehicle. For the future they could develop a larger, more powerful version of the system, maybe 20 kilowatt, maybe 50 kilowatt, and they could potentially be fitted on ships to protect them against UAV threats.